No problem. I'll repeat the same pointers firstly. Then we'll start from the today's session. Okay. So yesterday we have discussed about the SAP architecture. Okay, which were having, and also we have discussed about this EC core. That what we are having EC core. Just give me a second. Okay. So EC core, what the foundation data will be employee data and the workflows and the people profile, which I've explained from the demos also, like from the instance that how the system look like, the UI interface which we have. Also like the time of timesheet, global assignment, concurrent employment, and the contingent workforce that we have discussed yesterday. Also, like the SAP Activate Cloud Implement methodology, okay, that we have discussed. Other than this, how the implementation will be having the steps from prepare to deploy, and how the iteration will work for implementation. So that we have discussed yesterday. Okay, now today I'll discuss the important point that is the foundation data, which we have discussed yesterday. That is a base for any of the employee central. Okay, that what is the foundation data which we are having? It means like for any of the system, there is a data which is the foundation for on which we are doing everything, which is the core thing of any of the system. Okay, it means like if you can remember in this slide, that is the org structure, job structure, and pay structure in custom. Just give me a second. I'm just putting it on the. Uh, okay. Okay. So we need to like go one by one. What is like of the org structure, job structure, pay structure, and location structure. That is the four thing which we need to focus while doing the implementation. We need to take the requirement. We need to discuss these pointers while discussing into the workshops. Okay, so org structure is basically the employee and the position belongs to. Like it means like in the organization, the employee is having the certain types of the information that is like of the business unit. The person is belong to this BU, the person is belong to this department. Okay, the person is having this position, this job title. Okay, this the person is having that the position is HR onto the human resource position. So whatever the information that is related to the uh, employee and the position is within the organization, so that will having the org structure. Okay, I will explain you in the detail also like how the org structure look like and how we will do the configuration of the org structure. Okay, what is the job structure? Job structure is basically like tells you about like what the person do in the organization. It means like the human resources is the position. There is a difference in between the job functioning and the position. That the position is the person like seated on the seat. Okay, in the organization. Job structure is basically the what the functioning that he is doing. What is the KRAs of that person or the employee in the organization. Okay, that calls the job structure in which there are some job grades, job classifications, job family. These all things we are under the job structure we are having. Okay, pay structure means like the person is like having a different pay grades, different like of the pay components we are using in the company. Okay, so how we are segregating the person like onto the basis of the pay structures, like the pay grades. Maybe you are at the HR level one, then HR level two. We are having in the company that we are having HR manager. So the person is having the different pay grades. The person will not all the person will not have the same pay grade, same pay components. Maybe the HR manager will get the one time different bonus. We are getting the different one time bonus. These are also consolidated into the pay structure. Okay, location structure is basically the person sits into like on in Delhi. Okay, and he is driving something into the Bangalore. Okay, so we need to describe that this is the your reporting location. Okay, where what is your base location where you hired in the company. Okay, maybe you hired in the company in Noida, but there are some projects for which you were working for Bangalore location. So you can maybe the working location would be the Bangalore and the reporting location or the base location would be Noida. So on these basis, we need to segregate these things, the foundation object by which we can build up the employ everything in the system. So this is that's why in the SAP success factor, these things will consolidate and called as employee central core. Okay. Any question on these four structures? Anyone like from your side? Okay, it is like open to discuss. Like whenever you will have any question, please let me know. Okay, any of you. So next is just give me a second. Okay, that I have explained you that org structure basically organization management is basically having some subtypes that is called the legal entity. Legal entity is nothing. Okay, that is the company code where the person is hired. Okay, it means like the person for an example, you working in the Unigigs. Unigigs is basically a company code for you. Okay, so this is the company code which determines that what country you belongs to. One legal entity is having only the one country. For let's say the Tata company or maybe the Reliance company is having two branches. That is one is Reliance Money or one is the Reliance Trend. Okay, but Reliance Trend is from Canada and Reliance Money is from USA. Okay, so you need to have the two different legal entities for them. Okay, because these companies will are having the two different countries, so you need to make the two different legal entities in the system. Okay, to define that this company code is belong to this country and this company is belongs to this country. So we need to segregate onto the basis of the country legal entity. Business unit is nothing like it is the lower level to the legal entity which determines that how the functionality of the legal entities defined or segregated onto the basis of onto the business area. For an example, I will take the example of barista. Okay, barista is having the different uh, what we can say the business unit. They are having the CPG, that is the consumer product goods. They are having the DTD, that is the direct to goods. DTG, sorry, direct to goods. Okay, so they are having different business unit. They are having cafes. Okay, they are having some sort of direct to consumers. Like these are the things which we directly provide to the consumers. Okay, so these are the business unit on which we are segregating that. Some of the divisions. Okay, divisions it means like we are having in the cafes. These are the divisions which we are having like cafes and other things departments we are having. For an example, in cafes we have the department. This is the department like financial departments we are have. These are the HR department. So these are the things which we will segregate after division. Okay, cost center, like for an example, for this department cost center can associate it to, it means like this cost center can associate it to legal entity also, can associate it to department, can associate it to division, can associate it to business unit. That is totally depend from the uh, company requirement. Okay, whatever like we have the requirement, so we can segregate or we can associate cost center to department, department to division, to business unit, to legal entity. It means like there is a department that is the financial department. The one is the HR department. Okay, so there is a different cost center we have allocated to all the department specific wise. So these cost center basically, if you want to get an idea, that is from the backend side or the main idea that why we are creating the cost center. So you need to understand that is there is a one thing SAP S4 HANA. Okay, that basically consists of maybe the things like because success factor is having his payroll also, that is called ECP. Also we are mostly the I think the most of the clients are using the SAP S4 HANA for payroll purposes. Okay, so we need to create the cost centers there also, like because the payroll will be calculated there. So we need to have the legal entity association with cost center, that what cost center is having which legal entity, which department, which division, which business unit. That coming on later also, that you will got to know from the system perspective. And same is goes with the location. It means like they can have the association with these five also, or maybe they can specific one. For an example, Delhi is a location and Bangalore is a location. These two locations we are having in the system. Okay, but the Delhi location is basically associated to this legal entity. That is, one is to the Reliance or maybe to the Barista. Okay, but the Bangalore location is associated to the IT company only. Okay, so we need to segregate onto the basis of what basically the client is having the requirement. Okay, the position is very important in the system, that the person is onto the sales director, onto the sales, any of the position. Like for an example, I told you about the HR manager. So these are the things which we need to assign one of the person. It means like the person is sitting in the company on which role. So this is called the position. I think I have covered the much more important point. Do you guys like having any question on this? If no question, then I'll move it to just give me a second to the system. So to give you the better understanding on this, just give me a second. Okay, so I'm just sharing this. Is this visible, guys?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, can see.
So here you can see that which I've explained you, that if you want to see that your where is your foundation data looks like, okay, and where you have put it all the things, how it is looking like. So you can go on to the org chart. Org chart we have into the in this home. Firstly, you need to understand this UI also. What is this home? Home is basically consisting of all the pointers which is related to every module. Okay, it means like the admin center, that consists of all the things. For an example, I'll explain you firstly this UI also to get you the more connection with this. So it means like whatever the information we have related to the data, that is you can download the files here. The upgrade center, what are the upgrades are coming onto the system, that is you can reflect here. These are the integrations are performing here. Okay, these are the tools. For an example, in the recent tools, or maybe you want to search anything here. What you are doing like from the system, you can go from here as well. Whatever the things. Okay, so you can go from here. The workflow request, everything you can see from here from the admin center. Okay, and these are the admin alerts. Like what are the alerts we are already making in the system? That the accrual tools, the timesheets, you can see anything here. Okay, what is system health? What these warnings can reflect in your system? It means there are some things which you need to focus on. It means there are some errors on which you this these are the errors which are reflecting in the system. You need to focus on this and you need to remove or rectify these errors. Okay, these are the integration center. It means like I will explain you after some of the session, that for any of the requirement, the integration must need. It means like from to the downstream and upstream. Anybody knows about the upstream application or downstream application here? Can anybody tell me about this? Okay, if nobody knows, I will explain you that it means like the upstream application. It means like from success factor. Okay, there's some like of the things like chronos, if you can tell that for timesheet we are using. So some data that is of your punch in and punch out data is coming from chronos to success factor. It means like from upstream, that from there to that the success factor you are. consuming that data from Chronos. Okay, this some of the data that is coming going from your success factor to the different system, that is to the ADP or maybe the Imperial benefits. Okay, these are the system called if we are using the benefits. So there's some system of Imperium in which we are conferring the benefits also in the EC also success factor, but some of the what we can say the clients are using the Imperium, some of the using for ADP, that is for called as the data processing um, uh, the data processing tools which we are having in the market. So they are using that or they are consuming the data from success factor to there. So that is called the downstream application. So this is the main question. I think anyone like from the uh, good companies, if you will give the interview, so they can ask you first question that would be on what is the downstream and upstream applications that the success factor are using. Okay, so this is a very important to understand about this thing, so you can relate what success factor is basically doing. Okay, so in the integration center, what we will do that we will make the interfaces. Okay, that is from the upstream applications or and from success factor to the other application that is called the downstream application. So you can relate everything here from the success factor, employee center. These are the reports. What reports we have made in the system that you can see here. That for an example, these are the job info dummy that somebody make here. So what are the job information we are having for every of the employee? So you can see from here. Okay, these are some resources that you want to see that what is the health portal. It means like some of the KBAs you want like for any of the XYZ issue, so you can check from here also. Okay, so this is basically the admin center here. Other than this, the calibration, these all things are like different for the different modules, that is PNGM, careers and compensation, that is called for we are using that. Okay. The dynamic teams we were having in like what are the teams we are having as of now in the system. Employee file that I have already explained yesterday, employee profile which we are having. Okay, learning tool is totally what are the courses we are having in the system. Okay, it means some of the companies or the clients are will give you some of the specific courses, okay, in the system that you need to complete before the deadlock or before the timeline. So you need to complete that. Okay, these are the things which we need to focus is while doing the uh, implementation. These all things. Okay, what I'm explaining that was the org chart. Okay, that is the foundation data which I have explained you that what sort of things we are having as of now. So this is called the org chart, basically the position hierarchy. But that come on later. That as of now, this is related to you. That is the company structure overview. Okay, so in which you can see your legal entity, your data that is of division. So you can go from the department for lower level to higher level, from higher level to lower level also. That I have explained yesterday also, but I'll give you the you will have the more clarity from today. Just give me a second. Okay. So you can see here, which I've explained you, legal entity is basically the company code of any of the like for employee. This is the company code. The employee belongs to this company code. Okay, that is the Adani Group is like the company code for that person. Okay, and basically this legal entity is having only the one company country. Okay, that you can see from managed data. If, from where you can configure this from the technical perspective, that how you can do the configuration, because that was the interface only, how you will configure your legal entity. Okay, you so this is the managed data where you have all the data in the system. So you can see here what are the data we are consolidated in the system and what are the data we need to create here. So you can create from here also all the data. Okay, whether it would be a legal entity, the business unit, department, some of the data we are having in the managed job pay structure also. That is called the legacy data. Okay. This is the MDF data. That is what we can say the migrated data from the legacy system. Okay, primarily what we are using in the system, that is called manage job pay structure. Okay, in which we are having these things like the location, pay range, frequency, dynamic role, workflow, and event region. Primarily all the things like of the this org structure, like the legal entity, business unit, department, division, these are all into the legacy. But now after all releases, all updates in the success factor, that is migrated from the legacy, that is from managed job pay structure to the managed data. Now we can easily create the legal entity. Okay, so for your legal entity, which I was like explaining, so this is the Adani group. Okay, so you can check here also Adani. Okay, this is the Adani group which is there. So how we have configured that? You can see here that is the Adani group already. Okay, but how we will configure and how we doing the configuration? So you can see from here. Okay, the country would be India only, which I've explained you here. Okay, that every legal entity must be having only the one country here. These are the things which we need to make or put while making the legal entity, any of the legal entities. Okay, what is the default pay group from where the all pays will be delivered to the employees, like from where the payroll is like getting the money, like from which is the cost center for that. So this is the main default pay group. Okay, so they put the 48
So,
hour at, yes.
legal entity is the highest level in the structure, or because I think in the first slide which you showed today,
Mhm, mhm,
regarding, where we were discussing all the different terminologies, division, legal entity,
mhm.
company, and so those organization. So, like, what comes on the top? The legal
That is legal
entity.
entity. Legal
Okay.
entity. Some of the clients, what they will say that legal entity, they don't know what they will rename as a company code. Okay, the
Okay.
company code, and
Hmm.
some of them the legal entity, but legal entity and company code are same. And this is the highest, what we can say, the upper level of any of the org structure. So you
Okay.
need to make first that the legal entity in the system.
Okay.
Okay, they have not made here state, district, and these things, that is not related, or maybe that they do not have the what we can say the data. But if you can make there, so what we can you do, you can make the correction here. Okay, you can make the state here, that for which state your this legal entity belongs to. It means like for Tata Communication or for any of the Tata like Tata legal entity, they are having the head offices in Mumbai or in Pune. Okay, so you can make the state here also as per the legal entity. So these things, while creating any of the legal entity, you need to be very careful while creating any of the legal entity, because this is the foundation data. Whatever you are creating after this, all the things belongs to this legal entity. Okay. In the
Okay.
similar way, we are having the business unit. If you can go on to the business unit also, and what is that? The business unit, that is AG underscore AEEL. That is the code for every of the business unit. You can see legal entity code here. Okay, this is the group for this is the legal entity code, and you need to drive all the things of the downstream application and the upstream applications from this code. Okay, this code is very important. You cannot give this legal ID name. You need to go from the mapping. If you want to do like for any of the system, you can go from here. Okay, and this is AG underscore AEL. Okay, this is the business unit which we are having. So you can see here that the legal entity association. Okay, this business unit is associated to this legal entity. Now you can see from the make corrections also that the status is active. You can make the head of the unit. Maybe for this business unit, you have a head of the unit, so you can make head of the unit also here. The person sits, if nobody is sitting here on this position, so you will not be having the head of the unit. If the company have the requirement, you need to make every business unit with the head of the unit, so you need to make it here. Okay, here is the automobile and SID, that is as per the what we can say the custom fields we are having in the business unit. But these are the generic fields. These all are from start date to head of the unit. These are every client needs this. Okay, and why the legal entity is coming here? That is the association for every of the business unit. The legal entity is associated. Now, if you want to associate this business unit to the different legal entity, so you can that make also some of the companies will have the requirement that there would be the two legal entity. One is in the USA, one is in the Canada. Okay, and this business unit is associated to both of the legal entity. That is in the USA also, in Canada also. So you can make the changes here. You can make the different. That is, you can just put the Argentina also here, and this will be workable for both. If you can see the legal entity here, so AEL is coming under legal entity of Adani Group also, and under this Argentina also. So I think this is very what we can say the technical wise, like you need to understand that how you will do the associations, because if you can make that association in the system, so that will workable, and everything is depend on this whatever you are making the changes, or whatever you are doing in the employee profile and the other things and the configuration. So everything is depend on this org structure. So that's why yesterday I was like also focusing on to the org structure, because whenever you are doing any of the implementation, this is very important, or what we can say the needful. You need to understand the org structure from the company, that what currently they are having, what basically maybe they are using SPHCM, Workday, Darwin Works, whatever they are using, but how the structure is defined in that company. You need to make that structure in this way, because you do not have any other option. Whatever the data you will get from their side, you need to make in this way only. Then your employee center, your success factor will work as per the SAP recommend us the what we can say the best practices of SAP. Okay, so in this way you can see here the division associated to cost center, which I told you. In some of the companies, a cost center is associated to division, and cost center is associated to department. If you can,
I just have a question.
yes.
So, the similar fields, okay, all these fields we see
Hmm.
in while if we are configuring in SAP as well. So,
Hmm.
is it like SuccessFactor and SAP are two different, or it's like a merger? Like I am doing all the setup in SuccessFactor, and it's been like which is the upstream application, or both are same?
I'll tell you that I have some of one slide is also I'm having, in
Hmm.
which you can explain that you can understand that what is the difference we are having from SAP HCM to
Okay.
SuccessFactor. For let's say, have you worked on SAP HCM prior? If you,
Yes.
okay,
Yes.
so you have seen there is a organization management, okay, OM there, okay,
Right.
OM and PA personal administration is there, okay. So
Right.
in the OM, what is OM? That is basically the company structure. Okay, that is this similar to the company structure. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
if you can see that slide, is this visible to you? This slide?